During the fall, like many classes before them, the Woodward Oklahoma class of 1992 recently met for their 30th class reunion. And like most small-town reunions, there was a homecoming parade. Friends met for lunch and attended the local high school football game on Friday night. Old friends caught up and reminisced about stories from the past. The class of 92 also met at a local lodge to enjoy food and stories and one other item, a time capsule. A time capsule that everyone had forgotten about, really. It was a dusty Rubbermaid container that was supposed to be opened in 2012 during their 20th reunion, but it was apparently lost and recently found. And here it was. We expected the standard stuff, magazines, music, pictures, and other heirlooms from 92. It was all those items and more. The capsule also contained 3 videotapes. Tapes of what? Well, it seemed no one really knew or remembered what was on the tapes. We didn't have a VCR handy to view them because, well, we weren't expecting them. But I knew what was on the tapes because I'd shot much of the footage 31 years earlier. It was made during a high school event that we called Future Day, and it was actually recorded at the end of our junior year on May 16th, 1991. And what was the footage? Well, I remember it as driving around town showing what the town looked like that day. It was also on-the-spot interviews, asking students, what would they be doing in 20 years? Would they be married? Would they have kids? What kind of job would they have? So I headed home with the tapes after the reunion, and I was going to convert them to a digital format, and after I finished, I thought, I should do these interviews again. The same people 31 years later. Would they be willing to interview again? Did their predictions come true? What was it like living in a small town and being a kid in that video? Well, let's see if we can find out.
Hey Liz, how you doing?
Hi, Kenny. I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm glad you joined us this evening and going to do a follow-up interview. We have some old footage and you made some predictions about 31 years ago. And so we're going to play the clip real quick so everybody can see how your predictions were. And then we're just going to talk about how good of a soothsayer you were back in the day and which ones came true and which ones didn't. And just have a little fun with it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, here's the footage.
My name is Elizabeth Ann Brueggemann. In 20 years from now, I'll be living in New York City, and I'll be vice president of a big business. Now, I won't be married, have any children, and I'll be very rich.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about it a little bit. So you are talking to us tonight from New York City, right? Is that?
Oh, yes. I am in a city, but not New York City.
Not New York City. Okay, so your predictions were New York City, and you're going to be the vice president of a big business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be married. You're not going to have any children. You're going to be, I guess, that businesswoman from back then. And then you're also going to be really rich. So tell us which ones you got right here.
Okay, so I kind of live in a city. I live in a suburb of Kansas City, so definitely not New York. I'm not a vice president. I am a special education teacher. So I have 2 daughters, and I am rich in many other ways, but not with monetary value.
Okay, well, you got some of them right there. So
Yeah.
Pretty close. Well, we kind of looked at the footage, and just tell me about the footage a little bit when you saw it and what you saw. Really what we've done is we just kind of reflected on who those people were at that time. Tell me, when you watch the footage, tell me about who that person was in that place and time in the footage.
So when I saw that, I didn't remember doing that at all. That was a shock to me. So when I watched it, I was really surprised at my answers. Wasn't surprised at how confident I was. I'm still then and now I don't stumble too often, but I was shocked that I thought I was going to live in a city, not have kids. I don't remember not ever wanting children. So I don't know where those answers came from. I probably watched inspired by some movie at the time and thought, oh, that's a great life. Let me try that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. I think some people have pulled real answers out and then half pulled them out of their butt, right? They just kind of like, I don't know, they just kind of made it up. But you had no you have no memory of shooting that, right? Is that what you said? So nothing of the sort?
I don't remember that at all. So that was so funny to me when I watched that. My mannerisms, my comments, I thought, oh my, that girl is so silly.
So tell me a little bit also too, and we'll just kind of expand on that a bit, just about it. Now, did you move right away after you graduated to a different place, or did you stick around? So did you immediately get out and get to a city or go somewhere else?
Okay, so no, it's just so funny how my life just kind of went full circle. So left after graduated, went to Northwestern. I met my husband now that I have, and we had a daughter our sophomore year of college, our first daughter. So started out very young with children. We moved to Dodge City, so we've always kind of lived in a city, lived there, raised our kids. We now live, like I said, in the suburb of Kansas City. So I knew right away once I was a mom, I thought, oh, I kind of like this, worked at a daycare, and knew then that working with children that's what felt right. That's what was natural. That what was easy for me and I loved. So that's
Wonderful,
where I am
wonderful.
today.
Something else I ask people a lot of times, just looking back at that video, looking back at the person, is like, if you could go back and tell that girl anything at that time, right? Is there any advice you would give her, anything that you would say to her at that moment in time?
So the advice I would give is the same advice that I have given and continue to give my two daughters now. Just, it's okay not to have everything figured out. You don't have to, your future, you do not have to know that today. So slow down, enjoy what's in front of you, and just go for the ride. Go along for the ride. Slow down and just enjoy things as they happen.
Yeah. And I think that's really good advice because, I mean, one thing that we have taken from all of this and just talking to people is that really nobody had it figured out, right? And they didn't need to have it. I mean, they tried to act like they had it figured out sometimes, but no one really had anything figured out or where they were going or what they were doing. And so I think it's really great, that maybe some of us learn to, like, hey, when your kids get up there, just tell them they don't have to have all the answers right now, right? They're trying to fill it out, but that's pretty good advice. And that seems to be a trend of some of the answers that we get from people. So super interesting there. Anything else about
my dog? Sorry.
You know what? We always get one dog. There's no. Yeah. I was worried my dog was going to make a noise. But any other things you want to say, or anything that, looking at the other videos, or thoughts that have come to you over time after seeing this project? It's been kind of an interesting project.
So when we had our 20-year reunion, my oldest daughter was graduating from high school that same weekend. So there was no question we weren't going to, I think it was maybe that weekend, but we had something going on with her. So we weren't able to make it back. And then this reunion, I just was like, well, I didn't go to the last one. It's okay if I don't go to this one. And now I'm just so sad that I didn't, because I would so love to see some people. Most of our classmates I haven't seen since I graduated and moved away. Some I knew in college and stayed in touch with. But this project is just so neat because I feel like you're able to help people reconnect, remember a little bit about who we were then, and be able to look at where we are now, and just be really proud of where we are, how far we've come. And then also just remembering, you hear that saying, oh, don't forget where you came from. Well, that's very true, because part of who I am, a big part of who I am, is from that girl that was raised in Woodward and went to school with those same classmates that I haven't seen in years. So really, really sad that I missed those opportunities to reconnect.
Yeah, I think we had a really good group. I think people really connected. It was a good group of those, and I think it definitely will gel more. We're not going to wait 10 years to kind of re-gel and get everybody together, but I think it has been a good part of that project. But I think that's it. I really appreciate you catching us up and taking the time to do it and take it out of your day and talk to us about all that stuff. Anything you want to? Oh, I usually do one more question too, and so here it goes. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What are you? What are you excited about in the future? Answer. I want to put it in the archive, and we'll look at it later. But I really appreciate you taking the time with us, and we will catch up with you later on, and hopefully you'll be in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kenny.
Good to see you. Good to see you. We have some footage of you making predictions 31 years ago, and so we're going to go over those predictions and see how good they are today. And so here we go. Let's go to the footage and see what you got correct.
Okay.
What will you be doing in 20 years?
I won't be in this town. I'll be out of Woodward.
Okay, how many kids do you have?
We do have two.
Okay.
Okay, let's go over it. You said that you definitely won't be in this town, which I think you were referring to Woodward, right, at the time?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever make it out of town?
Yes.
Okay, you did. Are you in Woodward now, or where are you at?
Don't live in Woodward. I'm in Oklahoma City, but my parents still live there. I have family that lives there, so I go back often. Definitely.
Okay, so we got the first one right. Good. Maybe we'll get 100% from you. We'll see. And you said you're going to have 2 kids. Did you have 2 kids?
No, I did not. Life
You did not.
threw a lot of curves at me, so that did not happen.
Okay, so you didn't get 2 kids. But hey, you got 50% is the best percentage we've had so far. So pretty good,
Hey.
not too bad. So do you have any memory of the footage or that footage being taken, or when you saw it, did you remember it?
No, I have no idea. I don't remember that at all. I don't even know where we were. Like, I can't even figure out. I have no recollection of it at all.
I think we were in a hallway and you were up against one of the long hallways of school, and you were up against a brick wall, I think, somewhere near the cafeteria, because
Yeah.
we've been living through the cafeteria. So that's where I think you were in there.
Probably.
So looking at that old footage and looking at that girl, one thing we've done is just kind of some reflection on it. Just tell me a little bit about that girl in that place and time. Tell me about her.
Oh my gosh. That girl was, and I've watched some of the other videos, and I think it's kind of the same feeling a lot of people have. She was very insecure, very awkward, but also way too ready to grow up. High school was so weird to me. I never felt like I found the place that I fit in necessarily. And all I could think about was, I just want to get out of here. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I had no idea, but I was just in a hurry. I was in a hurry to leave. I was in a hurry to do something. And, but more than anything, just very insecure. Very insecure.
Interesting. So do you feel like, are you saying that you didn't feel like you had a group of people that you hung out with or you meshed with, or you just feel like you didn't feel like you belonged in that place and time? Like in that town, like you were destined for somewhere else.
Yeah, I had a lot of different people that I had groups of friends with, and I had a handful of people that I was very close to, but I never felt like I fit into like one place. And I think I tried a lot of things to find that place, but I don't know that I ever felt like I had the place that I fit. But I had a wide range of people that I hung out with. And I think that was good, but it wasn't like I felt like I belonged necessarily just with one specific thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think that, for me, I had kind of the same type of feeling, to be honest with you. I really wasn't a sports person. I didn't play a lot of sports, and I didn't play in band, and I didn't really I had friends in each of those groups, but I really wasn't kind of part of those, groups. I definitely was this one who, I don't know, maybe it floated between those. Maybe that was a big positive for us, that we kind of got friends in each of those groups. Maybe, I like to think that we were just more versatile, right? Does that make it sound better?
That, looking back, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. No, not bad. The another question I usually ask people is, what do you have any advice for that girl at that time when you look at her in that moment in time?
Yeah, I tried to think about that. I think I would tell her just to not be in such a hurry, to slow down, enjoy high school more, and don't be in such a hurry to grow up. And I think I would tell her that later on you'll appreciate the simplicity of what we had. I know I appreciate that so much more now. The thing I wanted to get away from is probably the thing that I go back for more than anything now, because it was such a simple, I mean, the things we had to worry about are nothing like what my niece and nephews have to worry about now. And
yeah.
It was so much simpler. It was so much easier. And I think I would just tell her to appreciate that, because life is going to surprise you, and just enjoy it more.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that we are a kind of a unique generation in the way that we did grow up without things, and then we had it, right? We didn't have cell phones, and then we got older and had it. We kind of, Generation X is kind of that generational gap to where we didn't have, we were in the 70s, right? We had black and white TVs, and we had nothing, and we didn't have microwaves, and then we did have microwaves. And so we're kind of the generation that bridged that gap. We felt when things were slower and we had more patience for things, and we had to do it, and then the world kind of sped up. And so I think that we do have a unique place and time, for that stuff. And I think it gives us some really good qualities. But okay, as we wrap up, I always ask people too, what are you excited for the future? Okay, good. Anything else before we go?
I don't think so. I really appreciate you doing this. It's amazing that you're taking all this time. It's so cool. So,
well, it's only what it is if everybody else spends the time to interview and have time. So I appreciate it a lot. So I'll talk to you later, and we won't make it another 10 or 20 years before we have another conversation. Sound good?
Exactly.
Wonderful. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us this evening, taking some time to interview with us. We've had some old footage of you making some predictions for the future. And so we're going to go ahead and play the footage and then see what you got right and what you didn't get right, okay? So here we go. Here's the footage right now.
What do you think you'll be doing in 20 years? To tell you the truth, the Giants, they're looking at me pretty hard, but I don't know. I think I should go with the 49ers, you understand? So, I really don't know. It's a toss-up, you understand? How many wives? About five. Okay, well, Dan, it's been fun.
Okay, a few predictions. You said the Giants were looking at you, but also maybe go with the 49ers. So tell us a little bit about that. Did you go with the Giants or 49ers, or what happened?
No, I was probably drinking at the time, and and they both suck. So, anything else?
Okay. No, so you're giving some silly answers there. That's fine. The other thing was that you would have 5 wives, so you've been divorced 5 times. That's the way I interpreted it. So have you had 5 wives?
I've had 2.
Okay, so you didn't get that right. I would have taken 5 or more, but you only did 2, so that's not going to work.
I've gotten smarter. Anything else?
No, yeah, I have quite a bit more. So quit rushing me.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm in charge. I'm interviewing here. You're not
you're the boss.
Yeah, quit trying to control me.
I'm sorry.
Tell me a little bit about this guy. So you look back there. We see him in the truck. We see him in the hallway. Tell me a little bit about that guy at that time. Tell me about Dan and at that time.
Well, he just wants to be girls and drinking beer, and that was it.
That's it, pretty much.
Yeah. I wish I could give you what? I don't know. What do you
more
want to
in-depth
know?
answer. I think it's probably most of the people there at that time, right? But they just don't admit it, right? It's just that they were having a good time. So anyway, you were just being silly. You were just answering stuff, right? Just having a nice time.
No.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to see my 2 girls now that I have in my life?
Yes, I'd love to see the 2 girls you have in your life right now.
There's Bella.
Bella the leaf blower.
And there's Stella.
And Stella the weed eater. Okay.
And there's Brent Venables. I'm just saying. Take it easy.
So not much has changed with Dan over the last 30 years. He has a weed eater and a leaf blower on his wall in his living room. So
my son. You hear me?
And your son. So yeah. Show me your son. So you have one child, right? One kid, one son, right? And he's a senior? How old's your son?
He's 18. He's going to committed to Southwestern Oklahoma State. He's going there, and now a little empty nest syndrome going on right now. So I got to get past that.
Okay, so he's moving along, and then you're going to be at home all by yourself. I think that maybe the answer to that is more gas-powered, tools on your walls. Maybe you could do edger, or you could do
or something. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Tiller, maybe a tiller in the living room.
Yeah.
So anyway, wait, okay. Let me move on with the other ones. You're trying to control this. Let me control the interview, okay?
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you the questions I ask everybody else. Okay. If you had any advice to give that guy back there, the guy sitting in the truck, the guy messing around the hallway, the guy with his finger in his nose, right? And I'll have to say that from one of the previews that I did, I had you kind of moving through and sticking your finger in your nose. And Beto, I was talking to Beto, and Beto said, I don't remember this footage, but I do remember some of the mannerisms. And one of the mannerisms I remember is that Dan always had a finger in his nose. Could you at least give us a finger in the nose before we move on?
I'd be happy to.
Is that possible after all these years?
Sure. You want it now?
Absolutely. Close.
Let's get Bill in the. Wait, whoa.
Beautiful. I love it.
Right there. Uh-oh. There it is. I got it. Okay, go ahead.
So the other thing that I heard when it is that you have a large guard dog. Is the guard dog around there, or can we see the guard dog?
Would you like to see Lucille?
Yeah, where's Lucille at?
Hi, Lucille. What you doing?
Yeah, that's it. That's the pit bull I heard about.
Yes, she's you don't mess with her.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, man, nothing's changed. The way I'm looking at it here in my paper is nothing has changed in 31 years.
I don't know what that means.
You're still giving me really, really, really sketchy answers.
Well, then ask me something.
Okay, we'll get down to it. So what, we're going to have to archive this one, but what are you excited about besides the Sooner season, upcoming season? What are you excited about the future, Dan? It's great to see you after all of these years and catch up with you and talk about the future and kind of reflect on some of that old footage, which is really great footage. And we had a good time. We had a little bit of fun in what we're talking about tonight. But part of what we've done after going to the reunion is just kind of reflect on who we are, how much we've evolved and who we are over that time. We missed you there. We wish you would have shown up. I know that there are complications you can't, but I expect you to be at the next one, whether that's 5 years or a couple of years or whatever. We expect you to be there. You promise you're going to be there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't want to have to go get Beto and Kurt and those guys to drag you out of your house and take you
I want
down there.
a personal invite. I want a personal invite from somebody.
Well, you have a personal invite from me. And I don't know. I'll try to get a girl to invite you.
Boy, I need a girl right now. Like I need a hole in the head, but it's fine.
Okay, Dan, I appreciate it. Thanks for having so much fun with us tonight and messing around and joking around. But we really enjoyed catching up with you tonight. The weed eater, all the stories and all the fun. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up and head out?
I would. I saw some pictures on Facebook and this and that of the 30th, and I wished I was there, but couldn't make it, unfortunately. So I'm glad y'all had a good time. It's good to see y'all. Thank you for all this, Kenny.
Well, we'll talk to you later, and love you, brother. And we'll, if I have to, I'll just drag you to the next one. But we'll talk to you later, okay, man?
I love you, buddy.
Love you, brother.
It's the modern day United worker.
That don't work.